Hi everyone, hopefully by now you have received your Brakeboard box set and the Kickstarter deck or regular deck if you ordered one. This video is to help you assemble onto the Kickstarter deck or any drop-through deck of your choice. The box set comes with all the tools, fasteners you need to assemble. If you haven't done deck tape before, please look at my deck tape adhering video. So step one, grab the pedal and remove the pedal bolt. You notice that the nut sits in the housing of the pedal base. Just take the pedal off first and expose the bush, take the bush off, and the nut can easily come out. Just make sure it doesn't fall out when you assemble. Grab the rear brake truck base and put it into the deck. Put the pedal base in place. Again, make sure that that nylock nut is in its housing. Grab your deck bolts, place 4 through the deck, nuts on the other side, and tighten firmly with the escape tool and Allen keys provided. Okay, this little piece is called the plunger, and its little black head pokes upwards. Now the order of this assembly is critical. The conical washer goes on first. Line up the brake hanger in place, and then midway through you need to slide on the conical bush. You can see it's a tight fit. With a little bit of wiggling around you can get it all squeezed on together, and it's a nice firm fit. Now it's really important that the little cup sits on the plunger head. You have to double check that, and it should be sitting in the hole like this. Once all is lined up and you can push in place, it should click in place, grab the outer barrel bush, the outer washer and kingpin nut, and tighten with the escape tool to the firmness that you desire. Okay, the next step is to assemble the pedal. Flip over the deck, put on the pedal bush, place the pedal onto the bush, grab the small racer washer and the pedal bolt. Now the tension of the pedal is critical. An over-tight pedal will restrict the amount of power you can give to the brake. This is actually very helpful if you want to reduce the power on the brake, but it should be firm so there's no vibration, but still have enough movement to apply the brake correctly. Using your hand, you should be able to see that the inner brake cone moves both sides about 2 millimeters each. Okay, the next step is to assemble the brake hubs into the wheels. Using the small bottle of Loctite, squeeze some small amount of Loctite into the threads. It's Loctite 243. Anything stronger than that you won't be able to remove them. Now push the drum into the back of the wheel and line up the 3 holes with the slots in the core of the wheel. Get the locking cap and push it in so the notches of the locking cap slide into the notches of the wheel core. Grab the 3 small screws and progressively tighten them all up firmly and make sure that they're nice and even all the way around. And there you have it, that's a correctly fitted wheel. Okay, the next stage is to set the lining distance. This nut here can be adjusted by hand. Great, you need to place on 2 racer washers. These are to be removed once the brake lining wears, but they're essential to start with 2. And grab the assembled wheel and slide onto the axle. To correctly set the brake lining distance, you'll need to place in the spacer and the outer bearing. Right, the first thing to check, spin the wheel and see that the drum is spinning 100% true with no wobble. If there's a wobble, you need to reset the 3 inner screws. Then check to see if the brake linings are touching at all. If you spin and you don't hear anything, You'll need to wind in the spring nut until they do touch. Then from there, just gradually turn the spring nut out until there's no friction at all. It's very important that they're as close together as possible without touching. Once that is set, put on the outer axle nut. Now wind until tight, but without crushing the bearing. It's important that there is no movement laterally on the axle of the wheel. Once this is all set on one side, repeat for the other. So once the other side is done, I'm sure the front truck is fairly self-explanatory. Have that all assembled, and now do a bench test of the brake. Now it's quite hard to press, it's designed for body weight. Use 2 hands and apply the brake on a bench. Now you must have both wheels activating at the same amount of force, that they should lock up at the same time. If they're not, you will need to readjust the inner spring nut and adjust the distance between the linings and the inner brake member to balance this. So if you've got any questions or problems, feel free to email me at ben@brakeboard.com and I'll see if I can get you sorted. Thank you.